Definitely wasn't what I was after yesterday in qualifying. Yeah, the track won't dry completely, but I think some areas will become dry towards the end of the race. But no, fingers crossed it just stops now and we can get back underway.
Jack, thanks for your time. Good luck.
No, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Simon. Thanks to Jack Miller, yeah, echoing the sentiments of all of us here in Indonesia. We do hope that we can get underway. If you are just tuning in, we have a delayed start. Fabio Quartararo is not obviously expecting any action soon. He's got back in his team clothing. Oh, dearie me. Terrible mistake. Was that his ice cream? Oh, dear. That's the first mistake Fabio Quartararo has made all weekend so far. That's a little bit of a red-faced moment for our pole man and our reigning world champion. Now, this lady is doing some sterling work now. She's been out on the grid. She is trying to banish away this rain. We sincerely hope it does work as Fabio Quartararo makes his first mistake of the weekend, dropping his ice cream tub. Let's hope it's the only mistake he makes of the weekend as well. Nothing that the riders and the teams can do, of course. All they can do is wait patiently and hope that we do get a break in this torrential rain. Pre-race, it was looking very, very good.
8 very impressive Ducati riders, you know, some rookies, some very experienced. I'd love to hear your thoughts on each of them if you have time.
Yeah, sure. I think we have plenty of time. Let's hope the rain stops pretty soon and we can have a race today because so many spectators. Super fast. If we go back to Bezzecchi and Marini, I think they should hear that.
For the nation of Indonesia, Mr. Joko Widodo present, hopefully to see some Premier Class race action here. The local announcers are doing their best to keep the fans entertained. We've just heard them there, I think, just singing the national anthem. Of course, this was a man who rode with 20 riders on that special parade in Jakarta, which Lewis attended. Gave us a real insight and a real flavour into just how as well. Stick with us, be patient.
It's been one of the regrets, hasn't it, amongst many of the last 2 or 3 years, of course, with COVID-19. Of course, our hearts go out to everyone who's been affected over the course of this pandemic, but of course it's prevented MotoGP to coming to places like Sepang, and of course we're waiting later in the year to go to Motegi and to Buriram as well, as you mentioned, and Phillip Island. Very, very popular venues with very, very passionate support, where we're hoping to be able to return to later in the year.
Has Fabio Quartararo stolen your flip-flops there, Lewis?
The right size feet, I have to say.
He does like the old rascal clobber.
Yeah, although I think given the size of my feet, my shoes more represent or resemble canoes, which would be quite useful actually in conditions such as these. So yeah. I think I'd be well set.
Get your flippers and your snorkel out. I think that's what you need.
Well, here's an onboard light with a difference then of the Pertamina Mandalika circuit. You're inside the safety car heading into turn 1. You can see on screen the standing water still on the circuit. Difficult to really tell from that standing water away, so they're really working round the clock here to keep the track in as good a condition as possible. So once we do get notice that a race start could be possible, that quick restart procedure, that 15-minute start procedure, can be commenced.
Yeah, I'm trying to remain optimistic, Lewis, as we always do in the commentary box here in MotoGP, but all those hills that we can see off in the distance around this magnificent Mandalika circuit at the moment, you can't see them, such is the heavy cloud cover. MotoGP World Championship crown.
Fabio Quartararo has changed into his civvies, so he's not expecting a restart anytime soon. Of course, he's got half an hour to play with as the Indonesian fans start to show us some of the moves, whether that's a dance move or whether he's simulating twisting the throttle of a motorcycle. I'm not entirely sure, but either way, some quality dad dancing to fill your time, and it's certainly entertaining. Fabio Quartararo, I'm not sure whether he's going to engage in a dance-off with this guy. He is a little bit. He's showing some of his own moves.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Fabio loving it. We're certainly loving it. That's going to help ease the tension and ease the stress that will inevitably going around it. Yeah, you're famous. You've had your moment in the spotlight here in Mandalika. He's got some moves, that guy, hasn't he? There's nothing going to dampen the enthusiasm of that
He's
man
laying
there
down the gauntlet,
in
isn't
the
he?
blue T-shirt. Can we have a dance-off, please, between that man in the crowd
Come on,
and Fabio Quartararo? Come on. Let's have a Strictly Come Dancing show getting underway here in Mandalika. How come it's taken us so long to find this guy? Absolutely brilliant, loving it. We've loved life in Long, but yeah, come on, let's keep going. Superb. Fabio Quartararo, he absolutely loved it. Come on, Fabio, we need to see your moves. We know you've got great moves out. The new schedule has just been released. There you can see on your screens. Pit lane will open, as we'd anticipated and as we'd hoped, at 4 p.m. local time for a race start at 4:15 local time. So about 75 minutes after we'd get home. We thank you for your patience wherever you are in the world. We know some of you, particularly in Europe, have had a pretty early start to watch the race action. We've got some strong company, or an Indonesian curling team indeed, in the future. We've got the brooms, we've got the brushes, we've got the road sweepers doing everything we can then to get the race underway in, what is it now, 15:54 local time. So in just over 20 minutes time, we should be good to go, all being well here at the Pertamina Mandalika circuit, as Loris Caparossi and Franco Mancini and other Dorna representatives make sure that every aspect, every potential problem corner with standing water is cleared before the riders do head out on the circuit.
So who will see this as a big opportunity then, a wet race in MotoGP? The likes of Paul Espargaro perhaps, starting down in 15th on the grid for Repsol Honda. Of course, he took his first MotoGP podium in very torrential wet conditions in Valencia. He will certainly see this as a big opportunity. Brad Binder, we mentioned, of course, he's very, very good in these conditions as well. John Zarco, Jack Miller on the Ducatis will see as an opportunity. The big question, I suppose, will be Fabio Quartararo from pole position. Just how much has his wet weather riding come on since we last saw him at the end of last season?
So finally, we are getting the MotoGP riders and teams prepped and ready to go. Bringing all the equipment onto the track now. We are going to start the quick start procedure. The pit lane will open very, very shortly. Thankfully, the teams are getting braced. A rousing and fantastic rendition.